Hey guys, this is producer Cooper here. This is our first episode back in a very long time. We apologize for that. The boys were going through a lot of changes, but we're back. We're back in action. I know both Squared and Nux had a lot of fun with this episode. We love you guys. We hope you all enjoy. Stoking the coals for UFC 321. We love you.
Everybody, welcome back to another episode of Stoking the Coals. We have not done one of these in a while. Obviously, we took a little bit of a hiatus, a little bit of a break from record day and live episodes, but we're appreciative of having you guys back here and talking about UFC 321 that happened in Abu Dhabi this past Saturday, October 25th. The main event, Tom Aspinall versus Cyril Gane and Mackenzie Dern and Vernon Jean-Jaroba fought for the title. Those were the two title fights, marquee fights of the card. The card happened. We'll talk about it. I'm going to preface this. I'm like, this card pissed me the fuck off. Like, I gotta be honest. This card pissed me off from top to bottom. There was a few good moments, but there are so many things that happen on this card and after the fact that have just, as an MMA fan who's been watching for a long time, just really, I don't know, man, made my blood boil. I don't know if I'm getting too old or what it is, but I don't know, just a lot of things. There's some good stuff come out of it, though, like in hindsight, some really, actually, the card I don't think was as bad as I thought it was initially, because I was calling it the worst pay-per-view of all time, but it was a card. But anyway, I'm sorry. I'm just so angry about the card. I started ranting about the card. I'm Knuckles. And my co-host Squared, how you doing, man?
I'm doing great. If you're watching, and if you're not watching, even follow us on our socials. X is at bench_burner. Everything else, Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, YouTube, Spotify. I'm probably forgetting something, but just literally anywhere else is at benchburner sports. You'll find us there. If you're watching this on YouTube, give us a like and a subscribe. If you're listening to it on Spotify, obviously follow. Does Spotify let you like videos?
Spotify, you can comment for sure. So
drop a comment, of course. Any questions? We're open books. Apologies. We're open books. So if you got any questions or just absolutely anything you want to tell us, let us know and we will see it. We are obviously
for sure
still a small little, I don't even know what you call it, small unit. So nothing.
I have a small unit, but
nothing gets past us. Any comment, anything,
yeah,
we'll see it. Any
sure.
DM, anything like that, we'll see it. So hit us up. Let us know what you're thinking.
And that's the thing. Sorry, go ahead.
I was just gonna say my thoughts on the card. Share a lot of this sentiment. I don't know. I guess I was a little I get optimistic's not the right word, but like, I guess I took away the good things more than the bad. Obviously, right. We'll get into it, but the way that main event ended, super disappointing. But at the same time, there's a silver lining to it, and we'll get into that in a minute. There's a silver lining to it. We also saw one of the most devastating knockouts of the year.
That lively type shit you like. That was the type of knockout you like.
A couple just real solid moments. Light heavyweight division got a little spicier, I guess you could say. That was cool. There were good things to take away from it. I also still remember earlier this year and how bad that was. As far as the cards in general, pay-per-views, fight nights, they were all just real early in the year. That they were just real trash. Because I saw. Not to call anyone out, but I'm going to call you out. MMA On Point said worst pay-per-view of the year. I disagree. I think that Ovin, whatever that guy's name is, who runs the page, I think he wiped his memory out of the first few.
Yeah, I mean, I did tweet out worst pay per view of all. Like I said, of all time. I was so, but I was
That's
also
crazy. That's
well.
crazy.
I was also
Year.
pissed. I was pissed too, and to
I
be
think they
reflective.
said that. I think they might have said all time too. Also, actually,
No, there was a Canada card with Amanda Nunes headlining like a year and a half or 2 years ago that was pretty bad.
was
There's
that
been
209?
something
Yeah.
like that. Yeah,
I think,
there's
I think that was the one where Charles knocked out Benil, so I was really happy with that card. But
okay, that might have actually. It's still, but yeah, it might.
yeah, but I know what you're talking about. But yeah, I think it was maybe like 312 earlier this year that was just like absolute ass.
Right.
Yeah.
There's worse. I think it's just because there were so many decisions. I really think it was because of um
The
so many
UFC has
decisions.
also
But
been on a insane, and we need to recognize this as fans because these come and go. But the UFC has been on a hot streak leading up, and we going looking at the next cards. I mean, we got champ matchups. We got
the next two cards are just
it's not over yet. Of course, some upcoming like fight nights aren't super spectacular, and that card wasn't super spectacular that we just came off of. But we do we as MMA fans, for our own sanity, we have got to like kind of dwell in it for a minute. Like while it's here, let's sit and appreciate how spoiled we've been, especially over the summer was incredible.
And also like as a guy who watches damn near every card and has for we've watched every card at least as a podcast for the past 2.5, 3 years, and even as a fan, I've been watching every card for damn near every card for 4 years. I'm going to tell you guys, it is a very good idea on the fight nights that you don't want to watch or the pay per views that you can't afford or don't want to find certain ways to watch it. Sometimes it's a good idea to take a break because I'm telling you, like I took a small break for like a couple cards and I caught the highlights a few months ago, and it did so much for like my sanity as an MMA fan, honestly. And it's a good idea. I'm gonna be honest with you guys, and I'm not trying to like tell you what to watch, not what to watch, but um, the next couple cards, like the day after Halloween card, and the card after that. If you want to take a break, I'm not even gonna blame you. Like I'm not 100% sure I'm gonna watch this Onama and Garcia matchup this weekend because that is a headliner.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know.
Headliner. I'll probably watch that fight. I'll take a closer
I
look.
want to watch that fight because I think Steve Garcia is going to fucking do it. If we might have a breakdown of the card, we might do a small thing for it or whatever. But I'm going to give a sneak peek of my pick, and it's going to be Steve Garcia probably doing some violent shit to David Onama. So there we go.
Going off what you're saying though, of like taking a break from a card, I did that recently. I can't even remember which card it was. And it was actually like it was one of those like not great on paper. I was doing something that night. I was like, you know what? If something good happens, I'll see it on Twitter. And I didn't watch it. It does kind of feel like that meme that like whenever someone like gets out of like a relationship or something, and it's that guy standing in the sky breaking the chains apart from his wrist. It does kind of feel like that a little bit. But then you come back like a week later and the card's good or whatever, like the circumstances match up, and it does make you like feel like it kind of gets that passion back in you of like, oh fuck yeah,
definitely
back, yeah.
And I think that the card UFC 322 coming up, I think that's going to be like that's going to inject some shit into us. So I'm ready for that card. That's only like 3 weeks away. So
yeah, dude. Oh man, the thoughts of JDM versus Islam coming up. Like anytime I think about it, I'm like, oh shit.
I mean, honestly, like low key, Valentina versus Zhang. I'm like, I know women's MMA. Everybody's dude.
I mean, those are two women that actually like. You gotta watch them. Like
that fight's gonna rule. That fight's gonna rule. Like that. Both of them. You get two champ fights on the same card. You can't tell me it's not gonna rule. So, but getting back to 321 and talking about this, we're gonna start obviously at the top. That is not what this card was. I mean, there's two championship fights. They weren't the greatest fights, obviously. So we'll start with Tom versus Cyril. Um, and as you guys know, if you've paid attention to the MMA sphere, Tom Aspinall got just basically finger fucked in the eye by Cyril Gane. There's a lot of sentiment of there's a lot of sentiment of MMA fans thinking that Tom quit, whatever. I'm not even going to get deep into that because I'm just tired of like seeing it, talking about it too much. I can like, if I was a casual, I could see them being like, oh, whatever. That's casuals, but I'm seeing like legitimate fans that have been watching for years saying that that he quit because of it. If you can't see, you can't see. Tom got poked real bad in two different eyes. Also, if he was lying about it, one went below the eyelid and the other one went and just like raked down and across from his cornea. Why would he say that the worst eye? Why would he lie and say that the worst eye was the one that just raked instead of the one that actually went underneath the fucking eyelid and like pulled? So obviously something happened there because the other one, like the one that went under the eyelid, that's what I don't understand. Is like people, oh, he quit and he's lying because it's not that bad. One went under the fucking eyelid, and it just doesn't make any sense. Why would he lie? Why would it just?
Part of it was surreal, kind of like did that a little bit. That's the part you can see his ball. You can see his eyeball kind of like shift in the socket a little bit. Personally, I am so sick of the discourse on this. He got poked in the eyes. It was disgusting. I'll straight up say it. First, let me start by this. The quitting thing, ridiculous. He's a UFC fighter. That's not, even if they do, like, sometimes they get that, they have that moment of like, okay, I'm not winning this fight. I'm getting the shit rocked out of me. Let me find my way out.
Yeah.
And that usually comes in just like kind of falling down and just giving up. And I'm not even like shitting on the fighters that have done that. That's just like, that's what it looks like when an MMA fighter quits. Or just maybe even quits. Quit isn't the right word, but just kind of accepts their fate, essentially.
I like saying that better. Accepts what's happening.
Yeah, that's what that looks like, and that's not what happened. Oh man, that one take I sent to y'all where they said like he did the same thing in the first his name Blades fight. Dude, that was 15 seconds into the fight, and he like ate one like kind of little jab, and y'all think he decided he wanted to quit from that. He ate a mean one from Prime Pavlovich. He ate a mean one from Blades in the second.
Oh yeah, dude, like Pavlovich kind of clipped him on the chin, and that's what worried me in that fight. Yeah.
And like he did not. That was off the point. I think most people that even think he quit in the Gane fight would have called that take the R word.
Yeah.
That was ridiculous. I'm not going to get hung up on that. But
right.
There's just a lot that kind of, in my mind, disproves it. And sure, I am a little biased towards Tom. I like Tom more than I like Gane. So there's a little bit of that. But it's just ridiculous. He was not getting his ass whooped. He had a bloody nose. He was down 3 strikes. He was also landing some nasty shit on Gane.
Those straights that he was landing were.
He had a head kick on Gane. He had a head kick on Gane that Gane semi-blocked it, but it landed, and he landed like right. If you actually watch the sequence leading up to the eye poke, I'm not saying that like he was taking over the fight, but it was his momentum. He landed a calf kick that kind of slid Gane. Like it was he was starting to take.
Yeah, and he landed a straight. Like he landed a straight.
Right. I'll tell you exactly what happened. Gane went in for a calf kick as Tom was closing the distance and loading up a left, and Gane, being a very cerebral fighter, saw that, had that instinct, that horrible instinct to just do this. And that's the eyes get poked when that happens. And that's what it all comes down to, dude. I've seen people complaining about the gloves. I'm sure if you have, it's an old video from Jim Miller. I think it's like a year-old video.
That one, yeah.
That's like a year-old video, but if you hadn't seen it before, I'm sure you saw it over the last.
He was just he was just on Ariel today talking about it again. He 47 fights, and he's never had that issue. 47 fights in the UFC, has never had that issue.
I'm sick of people acting like the glove, like it genuinely like expands the hand out like that. No, like it's this. I like we've all seen it. We've seen what their hands normally look like. I've worn a UFC glove. It's literally just this. Like, which is, maybe you could do a little better than that and kind of get it to curve down, but it's not this, and it's not.
We need the fucking. I'm gonna say it, and I don't care. And like, it'll never happen. But we need the Trevor Whitman gloves. We need something that bends the hand, because if you
something like that, but I think what really needs to happen is they just need to penalize it. That I'll say it right now: DQ, DQ gone. Guess what? That's gonna suck, because sure, he was winning the round. That's going to suck, but that's what's going to happen, and that's what's going to make fighters not do that so much. It's going to, of course, still happen, but if they start treating it like that, where they say, oh, you poked him in the eyes for the second time in the fight, and then it was a really nasty poke. You poked him in the eyes. You fucked up. You're definitely not going to get the – quit saying Tom's got to keep fighting and give Gane the advantage because he did
exactly.
But they need to penalize him. DQ him, he loses title shot. That sets an example to other people. Oh, you can be winning a fight and you can fuck up and poke them in the eyes. They can review that shit, so you don't have to worry about like, oh, what if someone fakes and poke in the eyes? They can review that shit. They do review that shit. He needs to get DQ'd, and it needs to be a win for Tom. And that sets an example. They'll start really minding their P's and Q's when it comes to that shit. They'll start minding it more in the gym. I'm not going to act like I'm in an MMA gym, but I really wonder how much their coaches get onto them when they see fingers out, because they're light sparring in there. They're not really that worried about fingers being out, because they're not worried that their teammate's going to get jabbed in the eye. I'm sure they do a little bit. I'm not trying to like say that they just completely ignore that, but you just gotta, it's like a culture problem almost. You just gotta really shut that shit down and make it like MMA 101. Like
the refs are just so
saying like, oh, make sure you keep your fingers, like, well, another thing is like, why is that an instinct? Like, why do this? Like, I get why it's an instinct. It's kind of a human instinct more than a fighter instinct, but like, man, why don't you just jab them while you're at it? If you're already going to be sticking your hand in his face, why don't you just close your knuckles and count it as a punch? Like, damn.
And that's the thing. And that's the thing too, is that like, again, Jim Miller made the example of like, he has never, and I want to do some tape study on this and watch fighters when fighters are entering, because Tom was entering he was entering, because I think he was going for a punch or whatever, and like probably gonna
loading up the left,
and you, in those situations, I want to go back and watch tape and watch all sorts of different fighters and all sorts of different disciplines, and see who are the ones that do this versus the ones that do this.
It's Muay Thai. Muay Thai fighters tend to have the fingers issue. And I've heard, I think it was Demetrius Johnson recently explaining that that's like very much a thing in Muay Thai, is the fingers out. Like, it's just kind of part of the technique. But guys, hey, that's a foul.
So
get over it.
I wanted to expand on some of the stuff you were saying. So talking about fouls in MMA and taking points. Explain to me what the difference is. And I honestly do not give a shit what any other MMA fan has to say, because they're going to try to say, oh, well, it's just different. No, it's not. So what is the difference between what happened to Tom Aspinall and what happened to Aljamain Sterling? Fucking nothing. You know why? Because they are given two warnings. They're given warnings in the back, and they're given warnings when they are in the cage. And also when they first start MMA, it's like a unified rule. So you can make an argument that there's 3 warnings. Like a lot of the refs, they say stay clean, all that. That is their second warning, because they were explained in the back. They were told in the back that there are no. The refs go over the rules with the fighters in the back before every single fight, and that should be your only fucking warning. That should be your only warning, because when Aljo was on his knee and Piotr Jan kneed him in the face, the ref said, hey, he's on his knee, and Piotr still did it. Okay. There's no difference, because it is the same thing. It is a rule. It is a rule. So in my mind, like people are going to call me crazy, whatever. He should have been DQ'd. I don't give a shit. And it's not just my bias against Cyril. It has nothing to do with that. I don't
His
care.
disregard of the rules that have been clearly displayed to him. Not
Yes.
even just once that night. Like, dude, he's been doing this. Like, this is his career. This is
his third title fight. So he's been in
third
3
title
title
fight.
fights.
This is however many UFC fight, however many MMA fights. He knows that like you can't do that. And because
it's disgusting.
disregard of those rules that he is very familiar with, he ruined the fight. He ended it early and not in the way that anyone was hoping for. Regardless of who you're rooting for, like no one wanted that. So,
and that's the thing, and that is the thing is
you
that
get a loss on your record for that. You get a DQ loss. That's what I think.
And even if Tom wouldn't have continued at minimum, like even if Tom said like I still can't continue, at minimum, Jason should have said, "Hey, I'm going to take a point," because that's what should have fucking happened. Because that wasn't the first eye poke in the fight. If anybody watches, he had another one earlier in the fight, but Tom didn't get straight.
His stuff takedown was jabbing his fingers right in his groin.
And that's my thing. Also, and Tom exposed this on his YouTube video. But like at the beginning of the YouTube video, Jason Herzog, he goes, "That's the thing about cheating. It works." Well, it fucking shouldn't. And that's the thing is Jason Herzog used to be one of my favorite refs, but in the last year he is becoming
he fell
horrendous.
He fell
him
off.
and Mark Goddard's not too far off.
No, I will say this. Boy, Mitch Richmond.
Mitch Richmond.
He just took the #1 slot. He had performance of the night Saturday.
Dude, get him on every single fight card going forward. I think he's Australian, if I'm not mistaken. He seems Australian. He's either Australian or British. I think his accent was Australian. It's what is it? Mitch? It's Mitch Richmond, right? Yeah. Or is Rich Mitch? No, that's what it is. Rich Mitchell.
But they called him like Rich Mitch or something.
Yeah, Rich Mitch. Yeah, so Rich Mitch.
I'll say that.
Rich Mitch. Get him on every card all the time. Actually, have him replace Tandan because Dan Merguliano needs kicked out of the sport, so have him replace Tandan. But anyway, shout out Rich Mitch. But anyway, that point with the taking the points. I don't care. I'm done with it, dude. And like, maybe we need more Rich Mitches because I think in that situation, had he been given that opportunity, I would have no doubt in my mind. Rich Mitch would have been like, "That's a point. Yeah. You're done. You're done." Secondly, for anybody that watches any other professional sport, what other sport do you see a foul committed and not something be called on it? Basketball. Yeah. If a foul is committed. If a foul is committed, it is
Imagine
called.
Getting a warning for a false start. Imagine getting a warning for a false start. That's
right. Same way, yeah. NFL, you get an offsides, you get a face mask, you get a fucking horse collar, any of that. Baseball, you break the pitch clock, you cleat somebody. There's the cleating fucking thing or whatever. Any of that, all of that. Like even baseball has rules and fouls. And I'm sure soccer has the cards. Like, yeah, they have warning cards, but it's still technically a foul that is like one against you. And it leads up to penalty kicks and shit like that. And actually, like low key, if you cause a foul that leads to a kick not being, shot on the goal, then the opposing team gets a free shot on the goal. So like there are in almost every single sport, there are fouls that lead to penalties that are consequential for the game. Why is MMA the only sport where a foul happens? It's just like, stop doing that.
Hey, cut that out, young man.
Just knock it off. We need, honestly, like, it's just hilarious to me. And I go back to the fucking stupid ass with the long beard. I can't stand him as a ref either. Beltran. When like Mikhaev was literally like almost giving Cop a reverse wedgie, just yanking his pants down, and
he literally uses the words,
"I'm listening to you."
He says, "Don't make me enforce the rules. Don't make me enforce the rules." What
like, What are we doing? And it goes back to the Tan Dan situation from last week that was just such a blunder. And that's honestly 90% of the reason that I'm pissed off at this card is because of that type of stuff. And also like the promotion and how Dana White handled that. But I'm not going to get too much into that because we've been talking about this specific fight for so long. I mean, it's needed because it's a very important discourse for this sport regarding fouls, regarding how people view people. And like, if people want to say Tom Aspinall quit, then I hope you get the mental health help you need. There are numbers for that. There's you can get help for that. Also, and I'm going to say this, I'm just my breakdown of the fight. Ciryl Gane looked fucking great. Like he looked really good, and Tom Aspinall looked a little bit rusty. And I'm not saying like we could have been on the way to Ciryl Gane winning a, pretty impressive upset, or we could have been on our way to Tom Aspinall realizing like I probably should take this guy down and just blast a double leg in the second round and beat the shit out of him. Because honestly, like Tom's first attempt at a takedown, everybody was like, well, Tom didn't fully commit to that. He's trying to fucking. I know what he was. To me, again,
he also got fingers in his eyes as soon as he
like,
tried.
Yeah, well, also at the same time, like in my opinion, I think that's just like to keep Ciryl guessing, like the levels. A lot of fighters do that. But again, I might be wrong. Who knows? But anyway, Ciryl did really good. Looked really good. I'm actually way more intrigued by the rematch now.
That was the silver lining that I referenced was there's bad. Well, let me let you finish.
I was just gonna say, like, I'm very intrigued by that rematch, man. I think that that's the best. Like, I'm not even gonna lie. In the 4 minutes and however many seconds we saw that fight, that might have been the best version of Ciryl Gane we've seen. He looked like he was on. And I'm not going to say that's the worst version of Tom because, again, we've only seen Tom in like 2-minute fights for the past, 3 or 4 years. But Tom looks slow. He found himself out of position a lot.
He definitely had ring rust for sure. I mean, it has been over a year since he had fought. He definitely had ring rust. I think the next fight we'll notice an immediate difference in Tom. I hope we don't notice an immediate difference in Ciryl, and I'm saying that because I hope he's just as sharp as he was Saturday.
That's what I'm saying.
That fight, dude, that can culminate into a really beautiful fight. It's almost like a sacrifice for something better a little further down the road because now this fight's got like a little bit of bad blood to it. There's like a little bit of like grit. Anyone that might have doubted Ciryl's capabilities now knows that he can put up a fight against Tom Aspinall. But I think we see a sharper Tom, a much more kind of into the flow of the motion Tom. I think we see a very different fight like off bat. And I think we see an even better one, which by the way, that fight was good for as long as it lasted.
It was pretty great. I was like, okay.
On edge.
I was like,
who these guys are. So seeing Ciryl look really sharp and really fast, that was awesome. Seeing Tom, when he was hitting hard and he was hitting good. Obviously was not where he wanted to be, but like he still looked good. It's not like he looked like shit. And that was coming off of
3 strike difference.
13 months, or not way more than 13, like 15 months inactive.
450 days. 450 days or something.
A long ass time inactive, and he was already looking like pretty good behind the ball a little bit, but like good. So I think this rematch, which he
looked like a dude who hasn't fought in over a year, is what it looked like. So like
right. I think they need to get this one in like the second after Ilya versus
February. February.
Ilya versus whoever. Get this one immediately after. Put it in London, or I'd say put it in France, but Tom's the champion, so I feel like you got to put it in London, or just
there would still be like low key because France is so close to England. Though there would be still so many Toms.
Put it on a boat in the middle of the British Channel.
Hey, put it on the fucking
blue. That is a good idea. Pay me, Dana.
Fucking fight boat instead of fight island. Fight boat. Put it in fucking dude. Put it on the Isle of Man. Just build a fucking octagon on the Isle of Man. I know that's between England and Ireland.
Somewhere in Europe, which if they're going to Europe, it's going to be England or France. So I don't know.
Low key, hey, Belgium would be pretty cool. I know that's kind of more France leaning, but Belgium would be like pretty
Yeah.
cool. Or
What else
Netherlands.
they can do do an Italy card or something. Do that. If I, they, I'm all these great ideas coming to me right now. Remember how they wanted to make Elon versus Zuckerberg in the Coliseum? How about this actual fight in a Coliseum? Hey,
And
hey.
it would make sense because it's like two heavyweights, which is like the culminate that like that's what the idea of
Tom's
UFC
got
was.
the fucking Coliseum tatted on his chest with like the Roman soldiers and shit. It's meant to be. All
Let's
right,
do it.
man.
I'm game for it.
When the
Anyway,
chat's over.
so that was the heavyweight main event. I mean, obviously we've got some opinions about it. And again, let me preface this. I know everybody thinks that I hate Cyril. I hate his coach. Don't hate him. In turn, he gets some hate, but great fight. And I am so ready for the next one. I know Matt or Squared is too. I gotta fix my brain there. Sorry. I'm used to being. We hung out a couple weeks ago, so I'm still in that brain mode. So anyway, Squared is too. I know he's ready for it, but yeah. So we will move on to the co-main event, co-main event, co-main event of the evening:
Co-main.
Jan Jaroba versus Mackenzie Dern, vacant strawweight title. Um, it was a pretty decent fight overall. It really, if you guys have ever seen the first fight between them, it looked a lot like that, but with a little, a little more time on top of it. Mackenzie looked a little bit more matured in her career, but at the same time, it was what it was. It wasn't like I'm going to be honest. I'm just going to say this about this fight. I don't have too much to cook on it. I just want to say that I don't feel like these are the best 115ers in the world. And Tatiana looked pretty unimpressive against Amanda Lemos in her last fight, but I still think that Tatiana would beat either one of these women. Actually, I'm ready to see how this division advances. Because now that Zhang's not in there, it's going to kind of be like light heavyweight after John left. There's going to be a lot of contenders. It's going to look really interesting. It's going to be super high level, probably not. But anyway, what's up?
I just had a quick thought that I would like to see that would maybe make this division more interesting, because I'm thinking like, all right, we got Dern as champion. All respect to Dern. She fought her ass off. She beat Verna. Good performance. But dude, she's still like, she was coming into this fight off of like 2-fight win streak. She's had a lot of ups and downs. Like you're saying, it just doesn't feel like the best fighter is holding that belt. The best fighter in the division is holding that belt. But I also don't know, as long as it's not Wei Li, it's like, who really is, it's one of those things.
Right.
It's like, it's not going to feel
Definitely.
like anyone is. But I wonder if our old girl Thug Rose would be willing to cut those pounds again and take a trip back down, perhaps.
So where you're thinking that, and I kind of was like, okay, that was a thought I had as well. But at the same time, I just feel like in her mind and what she wants to do, I'm pretty sure she said at 125, and she's gained some weight too from what I've understood with muscle.
Plus, she's got Wei Li's number, so if Wei Li wins this one, she might have a good
she might be in
she
might shoot herself in for a title. Yeah, so like low key, maybe she does want to stay at 125.
Yeah, that's
I
fair.
was thinking, and I tweeted it out, dude. Joanna could come back, man. I think
why not?
I think I'm going to be honest, and I'm not trying to be disrespectful to anybody in the division, but I think at this point in time, currently, and again, I might be wrong, even with her being older, I kind of think Joanna beats the brakes off of anybody in this division right now. That's the fight that I would like to see, Dern versus Joanna in the first quarter of the next year. But at the same time, I don't know if she's super interested in that. She seems pretty happy in retirement, and also like there's a wealth of fighters who could fight for the title. I mean, we got Jillian Robertson, I think, is fighting Yasmin Lucindo coming up. That could be a future title contender match right there. Lupi Godinez is in the mix. I know she has a loss to Mackenzie. I mean, a lot of fighters that Yan Janan, Tatiana Suarez. I mean, Amanda Lemos is still kind of like in the conversation. Who has the victory over Mackenzie? So yeah, there's a lot to be said in Verna. Verna could bounce back, and I know she's got to fight. This is her second chance against Dern, but Verna could maybe. I know she's 37, but get a couple wins racked up and make him impressive, and she could get back in there. This just all basically all I have to say is that this really opens up the division, and I'm like excited to see where it goes from here. So,
Yeah.
like I said, it's like light heavyweight after John Jones. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah. I don't have anything else to say about that.
All right, cool. So awesome. Congrats to Mackenzie Dern. So we'll move on to a fight that actually was pretty fucking good. Not gonna lie, pretty freaking. Sorry, trying to keep my cussing down for the algorithm. Sorry, algorithm. But pretty freaking good between Umar and Mario. I call him Wario. Bautista. I'll tell you, dude, Mario really impressed me in that fight. He is a lot better than I thought he was. At the same time, Umar also showed that he's an Nurmagomedov. They're so talented, and also he is the Nurmagomedov that can strike really well too. His striking is pretty impressive. I don't understand how he did not just simply pass away from the knee that Mario landed on his chin, because that shit was flush.
Yeah.
And so shout out that crazy mountain chin, man. They call it the crazy mountains or whatever. So shout out that chin.
I gotta say that was and I don't say this as in a pat myself on the back way, but that was almost exactly the fight that I was expecting, in the sense that I expected Mario to show that he is not to be taken lightly, that people are underestimating him. He was not going to be steamrolled, and he absolutely was not. He put up a great fight, great competitive fight. But then also on the other hand, that Umar would just show that he is just, there's I don't want to say there's levels to this, but the levels are, you got your solid fighters, you got your Marios right here, you got your Umars right here, you got your Marabs way up here. You got your Marab up on the ceiling over there. And
he's in the outer space.
Umar is as of right now, we can say Umar is just a level above everyone except Marab. Now they might find themselves in a rematch before too long, and who knows? Maybe he'll be up on Marab's level by then. But as of right now, he's above everybody else that's not Marab.
Yeah, I think that I'm going to say that Umar's going to hold the title one day, but as long as Marab's in the division and is in his prime, it's just not going to happen.
Right.
And I'm not trying to discredit Umar. It's just Marab is that good, and there's nothing in that fight that told me that Umar is ready for that again. And that being said, I usually match make more during these fights. Obviously, the two top title fights, there's a lot of things to talk about, but I'm going to say that Umar, I think he needs another fight. I think he needs one more.
Violence said that Zahabi, and I was like, I could see why you would do that.
So they just want to see him just bully the dude.
Right. I get where almost as in the algorithm of UFC matchmaking. I get how that fight makes sense.
It makes sense.
Let's all be serious. That fight doesn't come on. Let's be for real here.
Yeah,
that's no good. That's no good.
No, I think that Umar, personally, if I was going to match make, I would say Figgy next, because I don't know outside of Figgy, because he's already fought Corey.
As far as rankings or something, he should be fighting O'Malley, but we all know that.
But I've heard also O'Malley is possibly going to fight Song Yadong.
Yeah.
So in my brain, I've already booked that fight. But yeah, legitimately, it should be O'Malley, but O'Malley's not going to fight. He's not going to take that fight.
He's not going to do that. No.
So and that's the thing is that give him Figgy, something like that. I kind of honestly, the fight I'd rather see is Mario versus Figgy. I think that fight's super interesting.
Yeah.
But that's not going to happen. And Mario's number 9, so I would say Mario versus Ayman Zahabi, but Zahabi's number 7 now. So no, Zahabi's not going to take that step back. So I don't know, Mario versus You could do like Montel Jackson, and I think that Mario beats this version of Montel if Montel's going to be like super tentative, because Montel looked like patchy in his
Yeah.
fight, so I think Mario would kind of like do what he did against Patchy. I don't really know where you go with Mario, but I just want to see him in a fight again because, like, I'm not even gonna lie. Coming from the Aldo fight to this fight, I'm a Mario fan now. Like, I hated Mario in that fight, but I'm a fan now because
Yeah.
I've got to respect the hustle. He's just doing what he can to win, and that's what you got to do. So, I don't know what they're gonna do. I would really just like to see Mario versus Figgy, but they won't do that. So, just Mario versus a top 15er somewhere. Even Cheeto, like Cheeto, because he beat Cheeto at this point in time. I'm not gonna lie, he's gonna beat him. So yeah, that's probably the fight. Is probably Mario versus Cheeto. Make that fight. There you go.
Yeah, honestly,
There's
that
um,
makes sense.
but anyway, moving on to the next fight. I don't have a lot to say outside of Almeida. It's Jailton Almeida versus Alexander Volkov. Ban Jailton Almeida from fighting ever again because he doesn't like fighting. He likes grappling, and there's a massive difference between fighting and grappling because I want to see the amount of strikes he threw in the whole fight. I would venture to guess it's less than 15. I'm not even lying. I bet you he threw less than 15 to 20 strikes in the total fight. In that fourth round where he was controlling, quote unquote, controlling, I don't think he threw a.
Significant strikes, 10.
So I was right. Less than
310 significant strikes. Hey, 9 for 10 though. 90%. That's not bad.
I don't even. I'm not even. Hey, there you go. But I don't know what he was thinking going into that fight. But anyway, yeah, F. Jailton Almeida.
Yeah,
The judges
that
got
one.
it right. They redeemed Alexander Volkov because Alexander Volkov. There's one thing that he did, and he came to fight. That's what he did.
Yeah.
And Jailton Almeida didn't. Although there's like a lot of concern that he just kind of like did not drill takedown defense at all.
No, Jesus Christ. There were times where he stood up and I was like, hey, get your hands ready. He's going to shoot again. Oh, he shot again and you're on your back again. Fucking hell.
And his hips were so forward. He had better takedown defense against like Tybura,
Yeah.
Romanov, all those dudes. And it's like, what do you think Jailton's gonna do? I guess he was expecting because a lot of the time Jailton opens up fights with front kicks up the middle. So like maybe he was thinking that Jailton was gonna try to strike a little bit, but apparently he was like, I don't
I'm
know.
not going to lie, dude. I love Volkov and I was
I
happy
do
that
too,
he got
yeah.
his hand raised. I wasn't super happy with him either, dude, because that was pretty
No.
pathetic. Everyone's like,
Yeah, it was
well,
very poor fighting.
Jilton didn't do anything. And it's like, Volkov didn't do a whole lot either. Like he did
No.
not, which of course he was on his back pinned down most of the fight. So yeah, he couldn't do much, but also like
Right.
he just like was not. He just didn't look good. He did not look good at
He
all.
also it's like he didn't drill get ups either. Like
Nothing.
his position reverse in the first round was like very impressive. The fact that he got Jailton on his hip. Also, in it
So it's
makes
funny. Oh, sorry, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
well, it just makes me question also like if a dude who didn't drill get ups or drill takedown defense or apparently drill grappling really ever during that camp, how bad is Jailton Almeida? Because you let a dude who is a primary kickboxer get you on your hip and flip you over and get top position. How
Yeah.
bad are you?
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah, I
I
don't know.
was just gonna say, it kind of sucks because they did make it right. His robbery,
Yeah,
getting robbed by Surreal, they did make it right. But now it's like, all right, well, Tom and Surreal are going to fight again, and we're not impressed by your last performance. So he's probably going to fight like Derek Lewis or someone now.
I
Like
was gonna say actually that's the fight.
they're not going
That's
to
the
give him a
fight.
title shot off that. Like they just
Yeah,
can't. And I even said last week on the live, I was like, hey man, like this division's really shallow. You don't even have to win that impressively. But then he did that, and it's like, all right, yeah, we got to see one more from you before you get a title shot. And
I
just the
think
circumstances of Tom and
yeah,
Surreal being rematched.
and I
Um,
kind of think it like I think that there's only two fights for Volkov right now that unless like which heavyweight you could take fucking 8 months off. So like maybe he takes 8 months off and gets like the title fight after the fact. But if that doesn't happen, which I highly doubt regarding the situation, I do know Dana said that, he thought that, he's glad that Volkov won because he hates that type of style that Almeida was
Yeah.
bringing. So, like, also, I think that Dana low-key likes Volkov, especially after the Cyril Gane, like him getting fucked over. Um, there's only two fights to me, though, for Volkov that make sense outside of, like, sitting around for a title fight, and that's either the Curtis Blades rematch or Derek Lewis rematch. I would prefer the Derek Lewis rematch because it would be more exciting than the Curtis Blades rematch because
Derek Lewis is on more of a hot streak than Curtis is right now. So
yeah, and like
slightly, not
I was gonna
significant.
say Curtis, I guess won against
Yeah, just
Rizvan
got,
Kuniev.
just got
Uh,
debutant.
yeah, I think that I have a feeling Curtis is probably gonna get he's maybe they might do. Is Delija Anti Delija, is he booked or whatever? I think he's booked, but he might be. But if he's not, do Curtis versus Delija. I'd like that fight. Um, but anyway, yeah, Volkov versus I think versus Lewis would be great, especially with like Lewis just knocking a bunch of random fucking cans out for the last like what has it been like 2 years? He's been just
Pretty
they stopped booking him against like good fighters, and they're like, here's Nascimento, here's Teixeira, here's this guy. So just give him Volkov, let him step up because low key. I mean, I would pick Volkov in that fight, but Lewis has got that fight ending power where he just says, okay, I'm done. Let's go. And just knocks the dude out. I mean, that's what he did against Volkov in the first fight. He was like, what did he say? He said, Trump called me, said, fuck USA in his hoe. Yeah, I'd love that fight. And as for Almeida,
fuck up.
Kuniev, yeah, I don't, dude, go to 205. I don't know. Like, just don't. Honestly, like,
Let Walter ankle, not ankle, Jesus
heel
Christ,
hook.
heel hook.
Yeah,
Damn it!
yeah, like honestly.
I call myself a practitioner. Jesus.
But yeah, dude. I mean, I don't know. Yeah, Almeida do whatever he wants to do. But anyway, and then the last fight or the first fight of the prelims or not prelims, sorry, main card was Alexander Rakic versus Azamat Mirzakhanov. In a fight that was like David versus Goliath style. Like it was a super tall dude versus a super short dude at 205. Rakic in some places, if you look, he's listed at like 6'5". I think he's 6'4". Mirzakhanov is 5'10". I think he's 5'10" maybe on a good day because he's pretty short. And a lot of people were like, "Oh yeah, Rakic is probably gonna like keep distance," and because honestly, if you look back at Rakic's last fight, like against Jan before he blew his knee out, it was 1-1. He was winning against Yuri kind of before Yuri went Yuri and beat him. And then I think the other fight, which I don't remember what it was, but he wasn't looking too bad in that. But he was on a 3-fight losing streak. Um, so I could see where people would make or would have their reservations on him losing to Mirzakhanov because he is like a very good fighter, like he's very talented. But basically, Azamat just said "fuck you" and just like actually jabbed him, just
Yeah, clipped him coming in. It was beautiful.
yeah. And Mirzakhanov, man, I made a post about it. I just wish he was more active over the last couple of years, man. I think he could be fighting for the title right now if he was a little more active. Him versus Alex Pereira would be the most hilarious, like size and stylistic matchup because you got Alex just like plodding in, like light on his feet, and you got Mirzakhanov just like fucking thing. So he's good though, dude. I saw him live. I saw him fight Dustin Jacoby in Kansas City. He's a good fighter, man. I like him. He's funny. Also, like his shit talking to Rakic after the fight, like "Let's go." He kept saying "Let's go, let's go." Like yes, it was great because also I don't like Rakic that much personally. Yeah. So Azamat knocked him out with a jab, pretty nasty jab at that. And I think a lot of people are right about the fight matchup that they want to see next. I think Mirzakhanov versus Khalil, man. I think that's kind of the fight to make, and it really intrigues me. really intrigues me because it's Khalil's Muay Thai versus a fucking cannonball. What's gonna win? Um, so yeah, that's I don't know how much you have to say about that fight, but
Not a whole lot. I was excited about it. I had tweeted something kind of. I don't like dislike Rakic at all. I really just don't care about him like one way or the other. But I made that one tweet about his knockout being like the only highlight they'll be able to show for him when he retired. They're just going to
dude,
repeat.
you got so many people mad with that too.
It was like two guys. One was like definitely a burner for the first guy, but this guy was like livid. And like it got to a point where I was like, you know what? Actually, fuck Rakic, and I hope he gets killed tomorrow. And he got killed the next day, and I was like, sweet, that's hilarious.
Right. Oh fuck. Yeah, so yeah, man. Good. I mean, honestly, looking back at it, outside of like the Almeida fight, Almeida Volkov fight, and the kind of sucky ending to the main event, it was like it wasn't a terrible main card
Yeah.
because even like Dern and John Jarobo was fun, and
Yeah.
I mean they beat the shit out of each other, and Umar and Batista. You can't tell me that fight wasn't good because it was. And Mirzakhanov getting what he did, so solid main card. I'm just very. I think the just the discourse after the fight really irritated me. So like looking back on it, discussing it now, it was a good card or a good main card, a solid main card. And just gonna run through the results of the prelims, and then we'll do our spark of the card. Obviously, killing Salkilld. He Salkilled Nasrat Hakbarast. Ikram had a fight against the Iron Turtle. It wasn't a terrible fight. It wasn't great. Klein and Rebechki, very good fight, very solid fight. Rebechki is going to go down as one of the just most. I'm not even going to say violent. He's just the guy that just can like. Yeah, just all violence because he's like on the Halloween horror team all time because that dude like you punch him and he just face starts pouring blood. So
I would like to make an apology to Rebeshki. I did say that he fights for the dog shit R word belt on Twitter. I want to take the I want to take the dog shit part out. He definitely fights for the R word belt, but
oh yeah, but you gotta have
he's
you
not
gotta
dog
have those.
shit. I was
Yeah.
sliding for Aspinall when I tweeted that. I'm
Hey,
only
that's
saying that because Knuckles, I know you liked it, but I do like Rebeshki. But I was like, yeah, if he was fighting for the dog shit, uh,
R word. Yeah.
flame retardant belt, then
There you go. Yeah.
yeah,
No, dude, they need to have it because Rebechki, he just likes getting punched a whole lot, and he punches a whole lot. And that was a fun fight. Klein violently broke his ankle in the last round. If you look at the pictures,
that
his
was
ankle
nasty.
was like
He went
facing
down
the
on
other
it.
way.
Oh.
Oh yeah,
He
so
really
shout
coulda
out. I like.
I was joking, but like Rebeshki, like might have if he had known, maybe he could have like stood up and
I don't
then.
think he knew, and it kind of made it better
No,
because
there's
he.
no way he knew, but then like it's kind of funny looking back. Like, dude, if he had just gotten up and then like made Klein stand up, he could have won that fight.
But it almost made it better that he didn't because like nobody, the only person
No,
that
yeah,
knew.
no one. He had no way of knowing. Nobody watching knew until the fight was over and Klein
Yeah.
just couldn't get up. I'm like, oh shit.
And,
Yeah,
and that's what made it beautiful. God, it was a really good fight. That last round, I was like, oh shit, he might finish him. I was like, oh, such a good fight, man. That was my, and I think it ended up getting the fight of the night bonus. That was just such a great fight. Rebechki, uh, all bleeding team, all violence team, all horror team. Put him on all that, man. I love him. And Klein too, dude. Klein is always in bangers. So great fight. The Al Sawadi fight didn't happen. Walter Walker claimed his fourth heel hook in a row. Insanity. I don't know how this dude. He just like keep matching him up
I got
with
to see
unranked
number
heavyweights.
3 in person. That was fun.
just keep matching him up with unranked heavyweights, dude. Like just let him keep. It's kind of sad because I heard Hamdi got released, so we won't get to see that one.
Did he really? I didn't see that.
Yeah, yeah. Hamdi got released.
Holy shit.
We'll get to that.
That fight was literally ass. The amount of ass we had to look
Yeah,
at.
yeah. So, Walter, honestly, Walter probably deserves like a top 15 opponent, low key, but I guess he just wants to keep racking up heel hooks. Nathaniel Wood and Delgado, fucking banger. Nathaniel Wood didn't win that fight, but officially he won the fight. Um, I don't understand how they scored that for him because Delgado was landing the nastiest shots ever.
Yeah.
Also, low key, Delgado seems like he's going to be kind of like another Diego Lopez in that division. I feel like he's just violent, hits hard. Looking forward to seeing his future. And Nathaniel Wood is probably going to get another unranked prospect coming up that he's going to have to fight because that's just his curse in this division because he can't get finishes. Hamdi versus Barnett. That was, I'm not even going to say that was a fight. That was a thing that happened. It's hilarious that officially Hamdi got released, but Chris Barnett has this.
They were in the meeting room and they're like, yeah, we're releasing Hamdi, but they're like, then they looked at Chris Barnett and they're like, remember that one time he hit that spin and wheel kick and then did a front flip? Yeah. Who knows? Maybe he'll do it again. Come on, we got to keep him around.
They need to give Chris Barnett. I'm trying to think of the absolute worst person. I don't know. Bring Jake Collier back. Give Chris Barnett that fight. But anyway, that was something. Maxim versus Raposo. Really surprised Raposo got the nod. Really happy that he did though, just because those refs were like, that was the fight that set the precedence where the judges were like, look, we're not rewarding boring ass grappling. Yeah. So and Mitch Raposo deserved that W because he worked his ass off, and Maxim missed weight, so maybe the judges were looking at that too, like this fucker missed weight by like 4 pounds, so let's not give him that. And also Maxim was released as well. I think that was his 3rd loss in a row or something like that. So, but shout out Mitch Raposo. And then in the beginning fight between Amarim and Inoue, I don't think anybody saw Mizuki, right? I think it's like Mizuki or whatever. Yeah, because she wants to be Japanese people only wanting to go by one name. I don't know why. Like that's a big thing because it's like Ichiro and all those guys. But
damn.
Yes, but I think Amarim was like a big favorite, and Mizuki, who hadn't fought for like 2 years, was like, "Nope, I'm gonna beat your ass," and that's what happened. So, shout out the card. Not a terrible card, not the greatest card of all time. Again, in reflection, I was pissed, but I think the main event pissed me off more than anything. So I think that being said, Squared, I think it's time for the spark of the card, I believe.
Oh, wrong one. Fuck me.
You're all good, buddy. And I'm just going to preface this by saying that we know, everybody knows what mine and Squared's spark of the card is going to be, because what the fuck else would it be outside of Walter Walker? Shout out Walter. It's Quillan.
It would be a complete dishonesty to even try to pick anything else, dude. That's you put that on the prelims of any card, and that's your spark right there.
And that is why you make featured prelims. That is what a featured prelim is supposed to be, just violence like that. I thought it was going to be a good fight, and then Quillan just was like,
I was worried for Quillan because I'm thinking like, short notice. This
dude, and Nasrat is good as fuck. Nasrat is
very good fighter with lots of experience, who's competed against some very great fighters. I was like, man, this might be where we see him kind of hit his first bump in the road in the UFC.
Well, how do you go from
Aspinall, but this is going to be the one where like maybe he gets caught and he's got to grow from this. Yeah. And it was he was shooting some takedowns early in the fight that I found really concerning from like 20 feet away.
Yeah. But, dude, yeah, no setup either. I was like,
I was like, okay, like this might be a little ugly, and Nasrat, however you say his name, Harak Post was looking a little good. You could only read so much into it. It was like very quick, but I just remember kind of sitting back and being like, all right, come on, like show me something, Quillan, give them something good. And they're talking about, I don't even know who they were talking about, but one of them was like fat, I guess.
Yeah, no, they fucking, so Nasrat was introduced to MMA because he was overweight. His parents introduced him to MMA, and he's like, and then John Anik goes, well, his parents did own a bakery. And then boom!
I was literally thinking like, what the hell are they talking about? Like one of these guys was like a little fatty or something. And who gives it? And then all of a sudden I see that leg go up. and it hits him, and I just remember just watching his body go down, and I'm just, oh,
Dude,
just
when it happened again, I'm laying in my bed. I remember I was laying in my bed. I was just hanging out, and it happened, and like I goosebumps all over my body immediately. I was like, because it's just me watching. Like my son's in the other room, but those ones that like when I'm watching by myself and it makes me go, oh, like I did that. I went, oh, like
yeah,
oh,
yeah. It
and
was literally
my
that.
son, my
For me,
son,
I was like so caught up in them talking about one of them being fat. And even though I
yeah.
was still watching it and like seeing what was happening, it was almost like my mind was a little caught on that, that it like took me a second to like perceive what I was seeing. And I was like, one of them was fat. Oh, he's hitting the ground.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah, yeah. When the kick landed, it took it a second, but like as he was falling, like literally, dude, the fucking that's my favorite reactions that I need to record myself. It's just it's not like the long extended like oh, it's the
no.
like,
Yeah. Oh! Just the quick
like
burst of like, oh, fuck.
it's like Mark Goddard again when Justin Gaethje got knocked
Oh,
out.
yeah.
He was like,
Oh.
"That's me, dude." I was straight up. I was like, "Oh my god!" Just and then after the fact, I sat there and I was like, "Oh shit!" I was like, "Holy!" And then my son heard me scream, and he come in the room. He was sitting right where I'm at playing his game, and he ran in that room, and he goes, "Are you okay?" He goes, "Are you okay?" I'm like, "I'm good, buddy." I'm like, "Just something happened," and he turns
Yeah.
around and sees this dude laying on the canvas. Like, I'm not even shitting you. This is what happened,
Huge.
and he goes, "What happened?" And then they show the highlight, and my son goes, oh, I'm like, yeah. He goes, he got hurt. Is he okay? And I'm like, he's okay,
No.
buddy.
No, he's
I'm like,
not.
he, well, I had to lie to him and say he's okay because
He
also
will
like
be.
he was unconscious for like what? It was like 5 minutes or something
They
like
they
that.
had to do they had to do the official. Do they still call it an official decision when it's a knockout?
Yeah, no, he was
They lift
unconscious.
his hand. He was
Yeah,
still
he
out.
was
It
unconscious.
took them a
Yeah,
long time just to get him on a stool.
I
He
think I think Bryce came to quicker than he did,
yeah.
which is yeah. It's just, dude. When it like I was legitimately worried. I was like, oh my god, because he was still there and like his eyes were still rolling, and I was like, oh, he might. And I don't know if it'll happen because again, like we're what 30 years into the sport. I don't know because boxing's had it, but that boxing's usually an accumulation. I
Yeah.
do fear one. I do fear one day there's going to be like a knockout that is going to seriously impair somebody because it just has to do and it's more so with like knees and head kicks because what they can do to like your spine and your head
Yeah.
and shit. But anyway, I'm super glad Nasrat's okay. Killing still killing Quillan or however you say it. There's whatever pronunciation. Killing still killing it. Um and super excited to see where he goes next. I wish we could do Killen versus Esteban next, but Nasrat just beat Esteban Ribovic. But God bless, I hope one day we get that fight because Esteban can take hits, and he's not going to try to like mix it up too much, and that fight would just be nasty and disgusting, and I just need it. But also, Killen's 25, and I think his ceiling is fairly high. I think he definitely
Oh,
gets
yeah.
into the. I don't know if he's ever going to be like top five, but he's definitely like top 12 ish kind of guy. I think so. Super excited for him. But that's the spark of the card, man. And that's essentially UFC 321, man. Um, great, I said great card. Great
Great moment.
results, great moments, and great results to set up future competitions in the sport, in their divisions, in the company. Yeah, man. I hated it, but now talking about it, made me realize, wow, that card actually wasn't that bad. It's the Tim Robinson meme. You sure about that?
You sure
You
about
sure?
that?
Yeah. So, yeah, man. But this makes me pumped for 321. Um, appreciate you guys tuning into this one. I don't. Do you have much else to say about the card? Anything else you wanted to cook on?
About the card, not really. Spoke my
Okay,
piece.
right on. All right. Well, we appreciate you guys tuning in. We'll wrap this up and hope you guys enjoyed it. Go back and watch the highlights for sure. Check out some of the ones. A lot of like pretty decent moments on the card. And, I don't know if we'll see you guys again this week. I'm not 100% sure if we're going to really cook too much on the Onama and Garcia fight. But hey, who knows? We'll see what's going on. We might make some content regarding that. Or regarding things coming in the future. So appreciate you guys tuning in. As always, definitely check out all of our other content that we've got coming out. Maybe if you want to see how our views were before the card, go check out the live for UFC 321 before. And pretty much that's it. Squirt, go ahead and close us out, buddy.
Oh yeah, follow us on our socials. X at bench_burner. Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, YouTube, Spotify, everywhere else is going to be at Benchburner Sports. We could always do a better job being a little bit more active on our socials. That's kind of my job, so that's on me. But you'll see a lot of us. You'll see a lot of posts there, especially just kind of anytime anything's going on that's fight related. I try to get at least one meme in about it for Benchburner Sports. And I like to think they're good ones because they, for the most part, I've definitely thrown some stinkers out there, knowing damn well they were stinkers, just hoping to get some cheap laughs. But I like to think they're funny because they kind of follow my sense of humor. Hopefully y'all agree. So yeah, follow us. If you're watching this on YouTube, like I said, like, subscribe, please. That helps us a lot, and we really appreciate it. If you're watching this or listening to this and potentially watching it on Spotify, drop a comment, follow, of course. Interact with us any way you can. We appreciate it. It gives us something to build off of, and we just enjoy it in general, just interacting with people. Obviously, we have like a close network of close friends to the brand, I guess you would call it, but it's personal relationships. We love that. So please drop comments, DM us, all these things. We love chatting it up with the homies. Thank you for watching, and thank you for tuning in.
For sure. And make sure also, if you guys, because I like to build our individual brands, make sure you check out Squared's page, make sure you check out ours. Usually, I think our handles are tagged, our producer.
Yeah, they're in the bio on they're in the bio, at least on
X.
I'll check out Instagram. Maybe I need to throw that in there as well.
Yeah, and
Max doesn't really have like an MMA related Instagram. His is just his so I'll see what he wants.
And also shout out. Also, we don't do it enough, but shout out our producer Cooper. This is our first episode in a while, so shout out Cooper as well, and shout out Max. Glad to have this thing going again. So. Appreciate you guys as always, and make sure to turn